Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our virtual education abroad fair today. We really appreciate it. My name is Kimberly Larson. I'm the Executive Director of the Center for Global Education. And the first thing I want to do is thank Alice, our representative and presenter from the University of Sunderland in England, a wonderful institution and a partner of ours for such a long time. I hope you enjoy hearing from Alice today and about the University of Sunderland, and you're able to have any of your questions answered. And it's really good because, like I said, Sunderland's been a partner of North Central Colleges for a long time. We send a lot of students to Sunderland over the years. So through this presentation, you'll get a lot of your questions answered, get a lot of information about the university. A couple of things before we start. All participants except for presenters are muted. If you have any questions, please be sure to use the question feature in the GoToWebinar control panel to type in and share your question. At the end of the presentation, I'll ask Alice the questions that are in the question box so that we can go through those. And two reminders: when you're ready, make an appointment with an education abroad advisor to discuss your future study abroad plans. And if you're interested in studying abroad during the fall 2021 semester, applications are due by November 10th at midnight. So that's when applications are due if you want to study abroad fall 2021, next fall. Now those are due to us in the Center for Global Education through our Teradata portal by midnight on November 10th. And again, if you want to study abroad, plan ahead. Planning ahead is super important, both for your academic and personal goals. So make sure you plan ahead and make an appointment with an academic abroad, with a study abroad advisor. The link to make an appointment with a study abroad advisor is on our virtual education abroad fair website. It's on most of our study abroad web pages, and it's also in the GoToWebinar chat box for all attendees as well. So with those reminders being said, so grateful to have Alice here from the University of Sunderland. Thank you so much, Alice. Take it away.
Well, hello, everyone. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch this and kind of see the presentation and learn about Sunderland. I'll start off the presentation kind of welcoming you, and I'm so happy, that you could be here and that you're interested in this. So I thought I'd start with kind of the international and study abroad team that we have at Sunderland. I'd like to just introduce us and give you kind of a background. We have Matthew Gallagher. He's the International Development Team Manager. He manages the International Development Team, which is myself and 4 International Development Officers. We have myself. I am the Study Abroad Advisor at the University of Sunderland, which means I manage all of our incoming and outgoing students. So anyone who's interested in study abroad, and all of the induction and partnership management. Lorraine Robertson is the Head of International Development and the Study Abroad Strategic Lead. She manages the study abroad portfolio, the strategic plan, and she reports into our executive team about international strategy for the Americas, Europe, Africa, and study abroad, so globally. Thought I'd give you a little bit of background about the university. So the University of Sunderland has 20,000 students. This is across the campuses, all of our campuses, which are the Northeast Coast. We have a campus in London, a campus in Hong Kong, and we have global partnerships with learning institutions in 15 countries across the world. So with all of that, we have 156 nationalities that are represented across these campuses, and our international students make up 36% of the student population. We were also recently ranked as the most inclusive university in the UK by the Times and the Sunday Times Good University Guide 2021. This is an honor that we are extremely proud of, and very happy that our students and the society think that. This is just a little bit more about the university. So we have 2 campuses. We have a city campus and it's called St. Peter's campus, which is based on the water in Sunderland. So we have water views, which is pretty nice when you're in class and you can look out the window and see the ocean there. So we have a dedicated police officer and campus security for both of our campuses. We have free campus buses. So when you arrive in Sunderland, you receive a student card, and your student card gives you access to free campus buses that take you around the city, throughout Sunderland, as well as between the 2 campuses and all of the accommodation that we have. We have a brand new state-of-the-art fitness center with adjusted rates for our study abroad students. So if you're interested in joining the fitness center for 3 months or 6 months, there is a rate that we have negotiated for our study abroad students for the limited time, as opposed to having to join for like a year or 12 months, things like that. I know that a lot of students tend to study abroad and they have a bit more freedom with what they choose. So with that, I did want to say we have modules available across 16 subject areas, ranging from computing, sports sciences, culture, engineering. We offer a lot of British culture is another one. We just offer a lot of subjects, so we have a lot of variety that you can choose from. And these are all located on our website. So the module lists are located in the study abroad page, available online for you to look at. I think sometimes you study abroad and you don't know what to expect when you arrive or how much you'll be supported. So I did want to go over the student support services that you will receive. So once you arrive, we have a comprehensive induction week. This comprehensive induction week includes visits to the city center. We do a walking back and forth between both city campus and St. Peter's campus. We try to incorporate a beach trip as well because Sunderland is located near 2 beaches. So we try to incorporate a beach trip to Roker Beach and get some fish and chips. We do this even in January, so I will advise you to dress warmly if you decide to study abroad in Sem 2 at any point. The Gateway is the best thing I can say about the Gateway is that they know everything. They are our student support team, so they know about the best student discounts. They know about the best the best place for students to bank, where you can go out. You know, if you're struggling to find a classroom on campus, you can walk up to one of the Gateway desks because they're located on both campuses with big signs that say the Gateway, and there's always someone at the desk during the regular hours. You can ask them if you can't find a classroom, they'll be able to find it. If they don't know the answer, they will find the answer for you. So sometimes I like to refer our students to them just because I think I may not always be available at my desk if you called me or emailed me. We have a designated health and well-being team for all of our students. The health and well-being team is there for mental health support, disability support. It is entirely confidential service, and it ranges from, you know, if you're really struggling adapting at the university and you need someone to talk to, you can schedule a virtual appointment with them, or you know, once guidelines and rules around face-to-face appointments are changed, which hopefully will happen in the future sometime soon, you can schedule a face-to-face appointment with them, and we have designated therapists. We also have online apps and techniques that they post and our students have access to. So they're there no matter how small or big the problem may seem or be. We have a library services team. So this is a dedicated librarians for our 2 libraries. We have a library on St. Peter's campus and a library on on city campus called Murray Library. We have these librarians we have one dedicated for each faculty. So if you're taking a class in the Faculty of Business and Law, you can actually schedule to speak to the librarian who has the most knowledge in the Faculty of Business and Law, and they can help you with resources, assessment support, study skills. They're also there to help you book into our study skills spaces, because the library comes with certain areas that you can book into that have whiteboards or computer plug-in access, and you can reserve these, you know, during assessment time or all throughout the year to do group studies or just study for yourself. I realize I skipped over the program leaders and I should not have done that. So another thing that we offer is designated program leaders for module selection and academic support. So I am here for you, you know, for airport arrival, for health and well-being, for anything like that. I can give you the best advice. But as far as academic support, these program leaders know everything. They know which courses they're running. They know how to work the timetables. They know how to work all of the platforms. So we actually have them included in the virtual induction week, so you'll be able to meet them, and they will communicate with you prior to your arrival about your modules, class selections, things like that. So they are also part of the team and the support services that we offer when you join Sunderland. So on to kind of the fun stuff. We have a lot of sports societies, sports and societies at the university. So we have Team Sunderland. So Team Sunderland has over 50 sports teams and clubs. I think we have 20 sports teams and 30 clubs right now. And this is sports teams, you know, rugby, basketball, football, American football. I think there's a Frisbee club, I'm not really sure, all of them, but if anyone's interested, I can absolutely send links after the fact. That's not a problem at all. So we also have societies and groups. So we have over 30 societies. We have Anime Society, Campus Watch, Environmental Society, Photography Society. These are literally just to name a few. And so as a study abroad student, you are welcome to join all of these societies and these groups, or to be part of the Team Sunderland. Just know that when you arrive, all of these things are accessible to you as a study abroad student. The student union, I cannot stress enough how valuable I find them. They are just a great organization to be a part of, and they do loads of activities all across the campus. They have a buddy system, so if you arrive and you feel like you're not meeting enough people in your classes, or you're not connecting with anyone, you can actually apply for the student union for a buddy system, and they'll pair you up with someone who's taking similar classes or has similar interests to you at the university. And now that you're not stuck with this person, it's not like you need to be with them forever, but sometimes it's nice to just have one person on campus, a friendly face, when you arrive and you're new. So they also host local, virtual, and in-person events, as well as coffee evenings. I know that I'm saying all this stuff, and right now the world looks just like a little bit different than normal right now. But I am hoping that within the next 6 months or so, next year, that things will change, and we will be able to kind of have all of the fun face-to-face activities that would normally happen. If you have any questions regarding COVID or any of that guidance, I am more than happy to answer those questions as well after the fact. So we have International Student Support Team. So this is a designated International Student Support Team. They host coffee chats as well. There's International Student Support Clubs, and they also can answer any questions about kind of if you were to study for a year and you needed a Tier 4 visa, they could answer any questions about your visa renewal, biometric residency, things like that. We also offer the religious and faith-based support. So the university has relationships with a chaplain who works for us, and he basically can put you in touch with any organization or faith that you apply to within the city of Sunderland. So just kind of about Sunderland itself, I don't know how much you know about it, or where it's located in the UK. You might just be looking at England and thinking, oh, where's Sunderland? I don't know anything about it. So Sunderland is located in the northeast of England. It is a medium-sized city with a small city center that has shopping, theaters, cinemas, and also access to Roker and Seaburn beaches. One thing that we do have, and I'm really hoping that post kind of everything going along with COVID-19 that we will be able to get back to, is the Empire Theatre. So Sunderland actually hosts a lot of the West End shows that are performed in London at our local theatre. So it's literally the West End show comes up and you can see a show in Sunderland for significantly less than it would be or would cost if you were to go down to London. Sunderland is also a very, very, very student-friendly city. The university is one of the largest employers in the city, so there is tons of student discounts, student deals, and the people in the city are very friendly towards the students, just because it has such a large presence. The affordable cost of living. So Sunderland is one of the most affordable places to live in the UK. I will come back to that a little bit later and kind of give you a better idea about the cost of living, just so that you are aware, but I did want to include it there. So Sunderland's music scene, we're actually home to a few popular English bands. I don't know that I am actually American, and I didn't know them when I came over, but they do play them quite frequently on the radio. So they are popular here. So the music's eclectic, but we usually have, again, very different situation now, but normally there is tons of live music available throughout the city. DJs perform. There is art exhibitions, craft markets. There is clubs and bars, real ale pubs. There's restaurants, and a lot of there's Mexican restaurants, vegan restaurants, just fish and chips places. There is a wide variety of food options, so whatever you fancy, you can find. Sunderland also has an aquatic center. It was the training area for Great Britain athletes. Sorry, I was going to say GB athletes. For the 2012 Olympics. So it's an aquatic center with a 50-meter pool, a dry ski slope, an LTA accredited tennis center, an athletics track, rugby and cricket grounds. Now, I don't know, because this all is actually the aquatic center and more comes at a fee. If anyone's interested in knowing what the costs would be to use those facilities, I can definitely find that out for you and get back to you on that. That's not a problem at all. Again, there's only about 3 of these centers across the whole of the UK. It was built specifically for the athletes for Great Britain. We also have a marina and a water sports center on the beach, and our students are allowed to use the marina and access the sports center for free. It's through our Team Sunderland and the relationship with the marina. So as a study abroad student, you would also have access to that. You would just need to sign up for the Team Sunderland emails and then join the activities when they host them. So if anyone's interested in live sports and the marina and the aquatic center and the clubs and the pubs and the restaurants isn't enough for you, we also have live sports in the area. So there is the Sunderland Football Club and there is a basketball team. There's cricket in Durham, which is only about 30 minutes away from Sunderland, and there is a Newcastle rugby team. So we have a wide variety of live sports at your fingertips. So this is what I mentioned. I did want to come to living in Sunderland. It was ranked as the 2nd most affordable city in the UK. As you can see, just looking here, this is the total monthly cost at the bottom. So if you were living on a budget, an average or an expensive, that's kind of where we would say our students spend. As you can see, it's really, really affordable. You know, if you're living on a budget, I think that monthly cost is really reasonable. I know when I was in college, I ate cereal loads. So while you're saving all of that money, you obviously want to use it on things to do. So 1 hour, we are 1 hour from the Newcastle International Airport via metro. So you can take the metro from your student accommodation and go straight up to the airport. And the airport puts you in touch with the world, essentially. So you can find easy flights to Ireland, Spain, Italy, France. I mean, you can get to Ireland in 50 minutes for £60 round trip, probably on flight if you wanted to go. There's also a nearby ferry terminal, which offers short breaks to the Netherlands, Belgium, the Norwegian fjords. Again, this is, I think it's located in South Shields, but it's very easy to get to from Sunderland. And obviously, all of the London airports are easily accessible. You can travel down to London on the train or via bus. It is 4 hours, so if you book an early morning flight out of London, I wouldn't advise that. But if you had an afternoon flight, you could easily get into London from Sunderland and still make that flight, you know, cost forgiving. And if you did go to London, you can travel to France on the Eurostar in just a couple of hours and be in Paris. Also, if you wanted to stay a little bit more local, which I hope you do, because I think the UK has loads to offer, and you know you should take some time to explore where you study. We are 2 hours from Edinburgh. Again, like I said, we're 4 hours from London, and we're roughly 1 hour from York. York is absolutely beautiful. There is wonderful shopping, really, really old architecture. There's the York Minster, which is an absolutely beautiful cathedral. Again, like I said, we are 30 minutes from Durham via car, and we're 1 hour via train and the bus because of the additional stops. Durham is a World Heritage Site. There's the cathedral, there's the university, and there is, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, you might actually recognize it because Durham was used as a filming location for Harry Potter, and they filmed his dorms. So you can go in and you can take photos where specific scenes in Harry Potter were filmed. With going along with the Harry Potter side of things, Alnwick Castle on the Northumberland coast is only an hour away, and that actually was used for Hogwarts in the movies. So you're just really, really close to all of these. You have them at your fingertips. They're very easily accessible. You can get there via bus, via train, you know, tour groups, things like that. if you wanted to go down south, again, like I said, you can get to London in 4 hours on the train. Did you have any questions or anything else that I maybe didn't cover? If you do, I'm more than happy to answer them. Please send me an email if you have anything and any questions. I'm here to help. That's my contact information.
Thank you so much, Alice. We really appreciate it. I wanted to ask a couple of questions, please, that I think could be important. And thank you so much. I think you covered so much of the information in the presentation, but I think there's a couple of things I always feel like students are asking about, finances and classes and making sure they can graduate in 4 years and things like that. So one question I was going to ask is what do you perceive as the academic differences, maybe the primary academic differences between the US and studying in the UK, like homework grading, sort of what should students expect, how much time they spend on that? Do you have any idea about sort of what those perceived differences might be?
Absolutely. So I actually moved over to the UK and did my MBA at Sunderland. So I've been through that whole kind of culture shock on the different learning styles myself. The biggest difference for me with the UK and the US and studying is that in the UK and at Sunderland, they expect you to use your free time to do independent study. So you might get your schedule and you might say, oh my goodness, like I'm only in class, 3 days for 3 hours a day, which might feel very different than it would obviously in the US, but there is independent study that's supposed to be built in. So that free time is not necessarily free time for you to not focus on work. It's actually designated time that they expect you to use to complete your assessments and work on your classes. The biggest mistake you can make is not working on your assessments early, because I've been there and all of a sudden you're incredibly stressed out and the lecturers expect that you have been working on this for like a month or 2 months.
Sure.
and you're down to assessment week and you're like, oh.
Makes perfect sense. And then what do you think, what is your favorite thing about Sunderland or the area? Like I think about as a North Central College student coming to Sunderland, what's something they shouldn't miss? What's your favorite thing?
Oh, geez.
While you think about it, I'll just say I've been to Sunderland. I thought it was lovely. I really enjoyed sort of like you mentioned the sort of the 2 parts of campus. Just being right on the coast, it was so nice. It was a lovely place to visit. It was so accessible to other places. And I would also remind students that you can spend as little or as much money as you want, right? People always ask about how much money they should plan. And I think that depends on how much you're going to shop, how much you're going to go out, how much you're going to travel. And a lot of students, when they study abroad, and rightfully so, are excited to go to other places. But I know, like when I studied abroad, I stayed a lot in the country I was at. So I stayed there just like our students would stay in England or stay in the Sunderland, that region, and go to some of the places 2-3 hours away, because there's so much to be seen there. And that's a really good way to explore where you're at while you're a student there, because you have that unique opportunity to do so and save money at the same time and really get engaged in that community. So that being said, what do you think? What's a couple of your favorite things? Something they shouldn't miss?
Oh, geez. Okay. So I definitely, if you're talking about in Sunderland, my favorite thing about the university, my favorite thing is the support team that we have. So I think it's unrivaled. I think that's something that, if a student feels any kind of, culture shock or anything like that, I think the support team that we have on hand is fantastic.
I'm going to pause for a second because you froze. Can you say that one more time? You said my favorite thing is, and it stopped. I was like, no. So I'm going to say it one more time. All these little tech glitches.
No, sorry, that's fine. Am I back to normal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So I would say my favorite thing about the university was the support team. I think we have kind of probably the best support team I've seen of any university. Everyone's kind of available at your fingertips, and if you're feeling any kind of culture shock as a study abroad or international student, there is a ton of teams that are there to support you. My favorite place to visit, I think, I'm trying to think, in Sunderland is probably the theater, but if I was to go in and around the area, I absolutely would not miss York. You can go see where Guy Fawkes was born. He's the one that was going to blow up Parliament, and then we have the Guy Fawkes Day. You can see where he was born. It's like an old pub now, so you can go have a drink in there. And you can, oh no, sorry, that's not where he was born. It's where he plotted to blow up Parliament. And you can also go to Durham. And I'm trying to think about like the surrounding areas, just like what my favorite things are. It's not local, but I love the Lake District.
Oh yeah.
But it is very easily accessible. You can get there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
And
you can get there very
Edinburgh's
easily. And
beautiful
again, it's
too.
still in the UK and it's affordable.
Yeah. And Edinburgh's beautiful
It's
too.
not helpful when I say like a million different things, is it?
No, it's fine. I think it's awesome to hear. And like I said, I think Edinburgh's wonderful. And is there a favorite restaurant that you like in Sunderland? You're like, if you're here for a semester, make sure you don't leave before you go here.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. Because I'm going to get the name of this restaurant wrong, and I've been there 3 times, and this is terrible. Mexico 70, I think, because I struggle to, I can send the link to it if you want, because I struggle to find Mexican food in England. And it was like one of the first surprises that I found in Sunderland. And they have like, you can do like kind of like tapas for Mexican food, and I love it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for answering our questions. Thank you so much for being here. In a few minutes, I'm going to stop the recording for all of those students who are interested. They can see this and view it at their convenience. They can reach out to the Center for Global Education for an appointment with a study abroad advisor. And remember, November 10th is the deadline to study abroad for fall 2021. But please come to us about any of these opportunities with any questions you have about the University of Sunderland, and we can either answer those ourselves or reach out to Alice and her team to get those answered. So that being said, Alice, thank you so much again. We are very grateful for your time today. And with that, I will end the webinar. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.